There is an 89% increase in student performance when they are participating in gamified learning. Wow, that is amazing. I want you to take a trip down memory lane with me. So think of your favorite game, whether you played it as a child or an adult, and just the good memories with playing that game. Do you think of one? So I have a couple. One, I love playing Uno because it's a really good game to play with my kids with all those colors and numbers. And they're just at the right age where that's good, fun practice for them. And thinking back to childhood, I remember my brothers playing a game of Monopoly, and it lasted for days because they would play for a couple hours and then just the game didn't end. So they'd slide it under the bed, pieces and money and everything, kept track of money on a paper so no dollars got lost, and then pulled it back out the next day to continue playing until finally there was a winner. I just remember them being so engaged and so excited about that game, and like they had to see it through to see the winner. It was just really fun. So I absolutely love games, and they can have a huge impact in our classroom. So we know games, we have fun playing games, but how does that translate into the classroom? So first, what is gamification? So gamification is taking the game-like elements. So you've got points, you've got levels, you got some competition, you've got rules, and taking those elements and sticking them with other activities. So that could be, obviously in the classroom, but anywhere else as well. So before we dive into the classroom and what gamification looks like in the classroom, take a look at your life for a second because there's gamification around you everywhere. You are probably using it and you are participating in it every single day. You might not know it. Some examples of it out in life and how we're using it with our kids. Kids have chores. They're not very motivated to do chores. So we can use gamification to help motivate them and engage them to do their chores. So a sticker chart. They do something, they practice the piano, they do the dishes, they can get a sticker, and then those stickers can add up to a bigger reward. So there's immediate feedback. So another gamification element and a reward. They're winning something at the end. Another way is like a race. So I don't know about you guys, but in my house, I feel like I'm tripping over shoes all day long. But when it's time to leave the house, all of the shoes are just magically gone and no one can find them anywhere. So make it into a game. We make it a race. Who can find their shoes? Who can put them on? Who can get out the door the fastest? And that makes them motivated because they want to win. So they're so motivated to go find those shoes and put them on so we can get out the door. You probably have a food app on your phone or Starbucks where you're able to order food through your phone and get reward points. So, and I know in Chick-fil-A there are different levels, like there's silver and there's gold based on how many points you have. Then you get more rewards. So there we have levels. You spend your points to get free food. All of that is gamification. It's holding your engagement and it's motivating you. Those are all gamification elements out in your life. Let's take those gamification elements and put them into our classroom. Your students are now engaged in your lessons. They're having fun. They're having a blast. They are learning and they're absolutely loving learning with you. And they don't realize how much they are learning and they are retaining information better because they are actively participating and engaging and answering questions so much more than just a worksheet, filling it out, reading something, answering questions. They're not as motivated or engaged in that. So the information's not sticking. But when you put it inside of a game and with those game elements, it changes everything. And they're super excited to be in your class. They're going to come back every week, be engaged, and they're going to say that your class is the favorite. You're the favorite teacher. I've had some students where this one cute girl, she said, I wish I could play this game until I was 100 years old. She just didn't want to stop playing. Other students are like mind blown when class is over, like, what? This class went by so fast. I don't want to stop playing this game. So, and then there's just super excited to come back next week. So, adding games into your classroom really helps you stand out as a teacher and really makes those engaging and interactive lessons fun where your students are just hooked, they're loving learning, and they can't wait to come back next week. So, what exactly does gamification look like in your classroom? So, think of the subject you're teaching, and it works really in any subject. So, science, history, reading, writing, math, ESL, SEL skills, all of those can be gamified. So I have, for example, I'll use a math. I teach math. So we have some math facts we're practicing. Let's say we have two different levels of math facts. There's one where we could be practicing where students are pretty good at the know-how of the strategies to solve multiplication. They just need some practice. Or we have these students who are just beginning multiplication. So I'm doing more of the teaching of the strategy. So I'm giving you two examples here to show that how gamification works in two different situations. One kind of like that review stage, and one where you're in that teaching phase. So think of what you're teaching, vocab, dates, history. How can we practice and teach what I'm teaching? So, a board game, for example. Board games are really good in any subject. So, I have a board game. All of my students have their own characters, and I have some dice to move for each individual student. So in the review phase, maybe I give all my students the same question and they have to answer it. They just shout out the answer, or I can give them each individual. And then I'm checking them each individual their answers. And then after they answer that, we roll the dice for all of those students and we take their turn on the board game. So they're really motivated to answer that question, do their strategy, ask for help if needed, so we can see who's going to win the board game. Or take these students where I'm teaching them, I can put a math problem up on the board. Maybe it's 3 times 4, and then I can help teach how I'm going to solve this. Whether it's skip counting, we're going to create an array, whatever I'm teaching, I can take the time to teach it, and my students can follow along, help me solve it, give their inputs, and then we take our turn in the game. I roll for each student. We all move along the board game, and then I could go back to teaching. Other examples, I could be my terms and definitions. What is the definition of this word? Use this word in a sentence. What's a synonym for this word? Those could all be questions. And then we take a turn in our board game. And they're so motivated. I absolutely love it. So when you're gamifying learning, research has shown that 68% of students feel more motivated and engaged. And I want to back that stat up with some parent reviews that I got that really show how students are engaged and motivated and learning while having fun. So I had one parent say that was her daughter's third class and it really motivated her to practice her times tables because she was having fun. She wanted to get better. She was motivated to get better to participate in the games. Another parent said the lessons are fun and it was truly wonderful to see them learning while having fun. And then one last parent said that the games kept her interested and engaged, which led her to being confident with the skill we were learning. So I truly believe gamification in the classroom can really help engage our students, motivate them to participate, and really dive into the topic we're learning to help them retain the information while making it fun. So that's exactly what gamification can do for your class. I had a client of mine and she got her very first student, by talking about the games she was using in her classroom and how games make learning fun and help the information stick. They're going to love coming to class and learning about it. That's how she got her first student, was just talking about her amazing class she created and gamified lessons in her classroom. Gamification is an important element to add to your classes to make them fun, encourage students to participate and be engaged. So watch this video, this next video of how I'm going to give you 3 ideas to gamify your current lesson. So yes, current lesson. We're not creating a new lesson, a brand new lesson in order to add these gamification elements into it. We're taking a current lesson. How can we gamify this lesson? We're starting off simple. So watch this next video right here, and I'll walk you through the steps and you can start gamifying today. Well, as soon as you watch the video. See you next time.